All right, now let's move on to one of your favorites, political ads. You know, you're seeing them on your TV and online as well. You love them, don't you? No, actually, no one has ever said that to me. But I know that you do like it when we fact check these things and pull them apart. So tonight we're going to take a look at an ad that's running as part of the race for Multnomah County District Attorney. Now, last night we dissected an attack ad on current District Attorney Mike Schmidt. If you missed that one, fear not. You can always watch that anytime on the KGW YouTube page. Before we go too far tonight, let's get some quick background. 4 years ago, Schmidt won his post by a landslide as a progressive prosecutor, part of a national push toward criminal justice reform. And he promised to do things like get rid of cash bail and focus on prosecuting violent crimes over lower level crimes. But now, 4 years later, the political tide has turned. A recent Oregonian poll found that Schmidt is trailing his challenger, Nathan Vasquez, by 19 percentage points. 50% of the voters said they would pick Vasquez, 31% said they would go for Schmidt. The poll, by the way, has a margin of error of plus or minus 5.7%. Now, many consider Vasquez more of a law and order prosecutor. He's a senior deputy district attorney who has been a prosecutor in Multnomah County for the past 25 years. And yes, he is challenging the boss, trying to take his job. The Schmidt camp is trying to convince voters that Vasquez is basically a Republican to discourage voters from voting for him. So tonight, we'll take a look at that ad that Schmidt's campaign is running against Vasquez. This ad that we're going to look at, by the way, is mostly online. Ready? Here we go.
Betsy Johnson, failed candidate for governor and machine gun-toting darling of Republican megadonors.
Okay, check me here, but isn't Mike Schmidt running against Nathan Vasquez? That first line makes me think he's running against Betsy Johnson. And as long as we're here already, though, I checked with Betsy, and yes, she does have a machine gun, and it's legal. And she said it's a collectible that has not left the gun safe in 25 or 30 years. So gun owning, yeah. Machine gun toting, I don't think so. And if we're focusing on donors, Johnson told me that she was proud to have in-state supporters and downtown Portland business owners contributing to her run for governor. And we don't usually do this, but since the ad does take on Betsy Johnson prominently, I thought I'd give her a chance to respond. Here's what she had to say. The fact that Mike Schmidt is fixated on me shows a lack of solid ideas and track record. All right, let's move on.
Now, she has a darling of her own, Nathan Vasquez. Vasquez is bankrolled by Betsy's Rolodex and MAGA extremists.
All right, let's pull this apart. The Schmidt campaign was nice enough to share a spreadsheet with me that they said shows supporters who gave to Johnson, they're on the right side, and are also now giving to Vasquez, they're on the left. They say about 40% of contributions from Vasquez came from Johnson donors. And I got to say, there are some pretty big ones there at the top, and many are business owners. I asked the Schmidt campaign who they consider MAGA extremists, and they pointed to the Freris Lumber Company family. Rob and Jane Freris were at the inauguration of President Trump back in 2017, and Freris Lumber hosted President Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura, for a campaign event there at their Oregon mill in 2019. So, I mean, it is a good bet that they're supporters, but extremists? I don't know about that. That's an opinion, and it's impossible to prove or disprove. The campaign also named 3 other people as well, so that would be, I guess, a total of 4 individuals who contributed to Vasquez out of more than like 1,000. So, does that stand up to the line bankrolled by Betsy's Rolodex and MAGA extremists? I gotta say, I think that's stretching the truth.
We need a DA who stands up to gun lobbyists, not a puppet of special interests.
On this one, the Schmidt campaign argues that Nathan Vasquez voted no on Measure 114, that's Oregon's tough new gun control law, and that it shows him to be a puppet of special interests. Now, Vasquez did in fact vote no, but the law has never been enacted. It's been tied up in the courts ever since it passed. And Vasquez says through his campaign that that is the reason that he voted no. He wanted a practical gun control law, not a pro forma law that would get tangled in the court battles. The ad also shows text that reads, puppet of right-wing interests. But Vasquez is the DA who prosecuted the Proud Boys, the right-wing political group that came to Portland repeatedly to start fights. He won a conviction and an 8-year sentence for one of the leaders. So I gotta say, that one rings hollow.
Mike Schmidt is standing up to the NRA, prosecuting gun crimes, and working with OHSU to prevent violence. Democrat Mike Schmidt, forward, not backwards.
Okay, a rousing ending. Those last lines are an effort to let you know you can feel safe. And even though this is a nonpartisan race, they do want you to know that Schmidt's a Democrat, just like a majority of people in Multnomah County. Vasquez, by the way, used to be registered as a Republican, but then switched to independent in 2017 after what he called his disgust with the rise of Donald Trump in the Republican Party. So, as we find with so many of these ads, there are a bunch of carefully phrased statements that, while technically accurate, give an overall impression that may not be as accurate. But at the end of the day, it's your opinion that matters most here, not mine. So, what do you think? Send us an email, will you? The address is thestory@kgw.com, or you can call and leave a voicemail. The number is 503-226-5090. Let us know your thoughts. I look forward to hearing from you.